Pepper, welcome to the studio. You're saying some nice things about us.
Oh, yes.
Go on.
Well, yes, queen. Yes, queen.
Talk about.
Let's see. So I walked into the building promptly and early, much earlier than my band, because because I actually have an original grain watch that I'm wearing right now. That's perpetual motion.
Oh.
Okay, so it only works if I'm in motion. So I am in motion. I actually went up to I guess I don't need this.
No.
I actually went up to the 10th floor.
Oh.
Yeah. And
that's an ad agency.
Well, I felt that because as soon as I walked up there, Jordan, people were looking at me like, who are you? I just got back from the hotel.
Yeah.
I got my backpack, my Patagonia backpack with my yoga mat sticking out, and they're just like, they either looked at me in two ways. Who the hell are you? Or am I the new boss?
Yeah,
like either one of those two things are looking at me in that fashion.
Because you got like the scarf. You kind of look like you are an account executive at like our neighbors up there.
Jordan, that's the sweetest thing anyone said to me today. Thank you so much.
Game recognized game, man.
Right. Did you enjoy the Super Bowl yesterday?
Are you doing the interview or am I?
Oh, I don't know.
I like it.
Right. Well, I do have a fascination with these radio arms that the mics hold. If people don't know what it looks like, it's really incredible.
They're German.
They're the Germans, which also is the sponsor for the tour that we're on with Less Than Jake.
St. Pauli, the German football team.
Are you serious?
Yeah, from Hamburg. In fact, when you go to the venue
Germany.
tonight, you're going to see the bus wrapped in a St. Pauli's wrap.
It's like you're destined to be here right now at this moment.
Right.
And we are. So it's working out perfectly.
I'm glad you guys are here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us, Jordan.
I try to be as hospitable as possible. That Super Bowl last night, though, was wild. Your thoughts? Any like sports analysis? We should get that out of the way.
I won one quarter, so that basically brought me to even.
We got to keep it interesting on tour with squares, you know?
Yeah.
We usually, especially if it's during football season, we'll get the squares going every week. So
yeah.
Usually,
I don't play squares. I don't understand the game, so I don't.
That's the beautiful thing about squares. You don't need to know anything.
Right.
You just pick random squares and then
in the middle, it randomly gets picked and you do it. It's a light form of gambling.
It's gambling straight up.
It is.
Yeah.
There's nothing
it's not a
about
light
it.
form.
Well, there's gambling, and then there's our lighting guy. This tour we brought him on. He comes out and he's kind of chipper, but he looks a little.
His name's Jordan too.
Yeah, word up. Why isn't he here?
He's actually a handsome, skinny kind of guy.
Just
taller.
like you,
See,
Jordan.
now that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Not.
I know.
Really, you'll see him tonight. You'll be like, brother, what are you doing?
Was my dad having fun?
Only difference is you're $4,000 richer than he is because he lost $4K in Sioux City.
Yeah.
Oh,
but like
Lord.
that, like right before this, when the casino is attached to the venue.
Yeah.
Watch your ass.
He lost it.
Oh, it's good.
He's assless.
He can't watch it anymore.
He has nothing.
He actually owns a pair of assless chaps. Yeah.
How does that manifest itself?
Oh yeah, well it just did, just like that.
For a while there, he wasn't doing any lights. I think he was stunned, like staring into his wallet, the black hole.
That would do it. Or like, does he have 4,000 on him? Is that why he's staring at his wallet?
Well, it was either going to be
an electronic thing,
right? Well, no, it was definitely straight from his bank account.
Yeah.
Give us an analysis of the game, though, Brett.
As far as the game, it was awesome to watch. Everybody in the place we were at, a place called City Works.
Oh yeah, the Miami Heat were there.
Yep,
hanging out.
They were there, and everyone was enjoying it. Anything that happened good in the first quarter, we all saw that the Falcons really took it to them. And everyone was cheering. Everyone was like, yeah, God damn it, Tom Brady, just suck this, please. Enjoy this.
Yeah.
And by the end of the game, people were praying. There was 3 Patriots fans like in the corner going, oh, yeah, this is amazing. Oh, my God, Marky.
One of them was Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, Marky Mark's there and everything.
I love Marky Mark.
And by the end, we were just like, wow. I'd given back all the money if I could that I won on squares and the light gambling, not like
I wouldn't.
Yeah, all of it. Just to see Tom, just missing a tooth or, just something.
I think we all
Super
want
Bowls.
that.
I know.
5 of them.
Yeah.
That's 5 rings, so that's one for every hand. I mean, you know what I mean.
These 2 have the asterisks though from the Spygate, and then what's the other one? The deflated ball.
Deflategate.
Whatever. It's just a vibe. Is very creepy and it's very elitist. And,
I love it though. I love it. It's cool to have it's cool to have a super villain. Like I wanted the Falcons to win.
That's the way
but
to
it's cool
look
to have
at
a
it.
super villain. Like
That's
you want
the way to look at
That's true.
Think about it like this. Like in Dark Knight, you wanted the Joker to like
exactly.
You want him to succeed. Tom Brady is the Joker.
You have to look at him. He's got no personality, but you're right.
Well, that's deep, Ogre.
Yeah,
that's real deep.
I've been thinking.
Yeah, that's heavy, man.
Have you guys realized that you've been a band for 20 years?
No, that's never crossed our mind once.
Well, especially because it's not yet. That's in June, man.
That's in June?
Yeah.
So 19.
We're 19 and a half.
Yeah.
That's in June.
We got a few months. But that's a lot longer than a lot of people do a lot of stuff.
I've been alive for 23 years.
Well said.
So you guys have been a band.
You barely have lived
Yes.
longer than we've been a
your
band.
existence.
We've been dicking around.
Exactly.
Do you guys realize that you guys are in a class with like elite bands, like ZZ Top, 311?
Yeah, but I think we
Because
thought
of
of
the
ourselves like that like after the first year. So it's like, okay, this is 19 years later, good.
Yeah, but like to do that for 20 years, you have to be a good band. Like, what's the mentality of being a band for 2 decades? How do you guys go? Like,
Yeah,
To keep doing what you're doing.
or no other options.
Right.
You know?
20 years, hold on. You remind me, I have to take my liver pills and
Oh, yeah.
my cholesterol.
There it
and
is.
yeah, there we go.
by all means, proceed.
Yeah, but no,
there-
you're right. Because
how was breakfast, Brett?
Oh, through a straw.
Yeah, there we go.
You good?
Yeah. Where's my walker parked?
It's out there. It's
where's
out
your
there at the
Paul-
front
is it
desk.
okay?
I
Your
set
Paul
it aside.
Walker?
You guys have good security. My Paul Walker.
You're Paul Walker?
No, but I think
right.
I think it hit me super hard when I was talking to Tim from 311 at Cali Roots a couple years ago.
Mr. Mahoney.
Yeah, Mr.
Oh,
Mahoney.
hey, Jordan.
And,
Good job, son.
And we both talked about how long our bands have been around, and we're only like 6 years behind 311, which blew me away.
Because to them, like you said, we're like, oh my God. Remember when we heard about 311?
Yeah, in
Is
the
that-
night in the mid 90s in Kona,
in
back
like in early high school or mid high school, remember? Because this is how we would get a lot of our music in Kona. We didn't have the interweb, and like you kids now.
well,
We
it was
really
20
have-
years ago.
Right. We didn't get like, we didn't get MTV and a lot of the cable channels that brought you music and things till like way later. So we would just kind of hang out with the tourist kids that came over, you know, show them cool places in Hawaii, borrow the music, have sex with them, you know, things like that, show them around. And we would take their CDs in the end. So we got 311. We're like, this is amazing. Look at these guys. Oh my God.
I think they were tapes though. back
Yeah.
then.
And they were
Yeah.
already on MTV.
No one had a
Super
CD player.
vintage, very retro.
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
chic. I
Yeah,
love it.
I remember there was a 311 Grassroots tape going around Kona for a while.
Yep.
See,
Chad
I didn't-
Campbell had it
I
for a
wasn't
little
allowed to
while.
have that.
And Anna Jones had the 40 ounces.
Yep.
The only person.
Yeah, cassette
She-
tape, and the 40
Cassette
ounces
tape.
were different colors. They were
Yep.
like see-through,
Green.
Like yeah, there was a green.
There was a
I think
green
I'd
one.
seen like a purple one back then.
Do you still have them? Because cassettes
no,
are they're coming
God.
back.
That's
Are
so
they
that
coming
40
back?
ounces.
That's
to
like it's kind of like the vinyl effect.
yeah.
No way.
That 40 ounces
Yeah.
to Freedom cassette tape's probably worth some
That's some serious
dough.
coin.
Jordan could use that to make some of the
to
40
sell it
ounces.
back.
Good, to
Not
get-
not me.
No, not
I
you,
didn't lose
Jordan.
$4,000.
Our lighting
Other
guy,
Jordan,
Jordan.
light
Yeah.
Jordan.
Right. Well, I don't know, Jordan. We still got to talk about your night last night. You could have ended up at Sevilla and lost 4K there.
No. I
I have a tab there open.
lost 20. I lost $20 and drank a bottle of wine. I'm fine.
Oh, yeah.
nice.
What
I had
kind
a
of,
much better night than
what
other
kind of wine do
Jordan.
you drink, Jordan?
I was Cava.
Check you
No
out.
kidding, huh?
Hey.
Wow.
Look at this guy.
23 and drinking kava. You are on your way.
Nah, my better half put me onto that.
Okay, all
She's
right.
very classy.
Okay.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Always looking for an excuse to bring her up.
That's a good deal.
Trying to be a good
Oh,
guy.
someone's
That'll pay
smitten.
dividends later.
Someone is totally smitten, pouring guts on the mic.
Wow.
During an interview, I got Pepper in here, and I can't help but to flirt via an interview. It's the worst. That's terrible.
Wow.
Is
That's-
that game? What's the best game that you've ever spitten upon someone?
Usually just when I wake up in the morning and I spit up blood. That's
my
basically
God.
Okay.
that's basically like the only game I'm spitting
In
lately.
the earlier days, I pretty much was able to bag a G MILF at this right before we got kicked out of that 4 Seasons in LA.
with Ryan.
Yeah, I was at
Oh.
that perfect level of
No, it's good.
wasted where things were making sense and she was hanging around. I was like, wow,
Right.
you are
Right.
so
Still,
much.
you could still make a sentence
Of
and
course.
everything.
I didn't want to
You're
tell
at
you
the
that.
level where you're feeling yourself, but you're still
yeah.
coherent.
Yeah.
But you're like loose.
Yeah, and you got the support of
Fine
your
line.
friends,
Yeah.
and you're kind of
Very fine
outnumbered
line.
in the herd. You know, we kind of wolf packed her a little bit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she was a prostitute. We found out later.
Yeah, but I
Shoot.
remember paying, thank God.
Shoot.
Yeah.
But Beverly
perfume.
Hills, I mean, yeah, you know.
I took a severe left turn.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
her perfume was more valuable than my career. So I mean, that was the main point. It was, you know, we before we got kicked out, you know, that was the best game that I did, where it was like all stepped up. Let me walk you to your car. Goodbye.
I got to disagree with Brett. I think his best pool was Norwegia in Seattle.
God,
But we'll just leave that for another time.
That's another interview.
it still hurts. It still hurts.
Was that Carpathia?
No.
Whoa,
Completely
way
different.
different.
Yeah.
It would have taken all of us to pull Carpathia.
Yeah, I know.
She's
True.
such a big woman.
It would have been like Gulliver's Travels.
Yeah.
Except the XXX version.
Not the
What's the XXX version of Gulliver's Travel? Do you have a title?
Well,
Give it to me right now.
well, yeah,
wait for the DVD to come out.
Yeah, exactly.
Those were
We're going to actually talk about it on our radio station once I find the Germans who built these mic arms.
Yeah, so you guys are making
Yeah.
your own Pepper radio station?
Well,
Yeah,
that's correct,
we
Jordan.
do.
We're going to
Once we
start
get these
setting it
mic
up in the
arms,
back. And
yeah.
the coolest thing is we meet so many fascinating people on the road, not necessarily band members
Right.
or promoters, but like fans. We meet like the greatest fans in the world, and we have a VIP meet and greet that's going on actually currently right now with this tour with Les and Jake,
Right.
Oh, cool.
where we bring our meet and greeters to this little dark back room and have them perform on us Mario Kart.
Okay.
Yeah. And
I was like, oh,
yeah.
I don't like where this is going.
No, actually, it's quite brilliant. We have these people come and they play us at Mario Kart, and it is the funnest meet and greet. You've never seen anybody get like really like, hi, it's really nice to meet you, into the most competitive, focused state of being that they have, where they're elbowing you like mid lap. It's like final lap, and you just see their controller come in front of your view, obstructing it from the TV screen.
17-year-old young Mormon girls full on elbowing you. You're no longer my favorite band. You're just Mario and Wario right now. To me, and we're on lap 3.
Who is the dark
Mario?
Lorio? Is that his name?
There's a couple. There's
no,
Wario
he's
and
the
then
skinny Wario.
That guy. He's real nasty.
He's the nasty guy.
That's a terrible name, by the way. It's like Nintendo mailed it in on Waluigi.
They did. There's just so many names, but he's right. They get super competitive, but that is something we're offering, and it is super fun because you really learn a lot about the people who are coming out to support you for over, I almost said 30 years. Oh my God. 20 years, because
you're just rehearsing.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. They're so competitive.
You know what you guys didn't see that I went to is that Surly brewery early yesterday. That
Surly, you must be kidding.
Surly, you can't be serious.
That's a great spot.
No, but their sauna-ing they have going on outside. They have these portable saunas.
Is it infrared sauna?
That no sauna. Hot.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, hot.
No, they have infrared saunas, which I'm really interested in.
Oh yeah, no, this is their normal one.
No, seriously.
Really?
And then come to find out, of course, Fozzy, our guitar tech, he also works for Offspring.
Oh, he's
like,
German.
Oh
too.
yeah. No, Dexter's full on into saunaing. I guess they made it in Finland. The Finns came up.
The Finns came up with that.
They're ingenious. They've had some innovations.
Well, I mean, look, fish oil. Come on, they're just way ahead of the curve.
Omega 3s.
Yeah, I just had some in those pills, bro.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was interesting.
Breakfast.
Just buck naked, pretty much people just out there saunaing outside.
We do
a brewery.
winter right.
Yeah.
Well, you have to, Jordan, because winter is predominant here.
It is. Well, it's only like 7 months out of the year.
Yeah,
as opposed
okay.
to
See,
like
we don't
6.
have winter in Hawaii.
You guys don't?
No. Yeah.
Are you guys
One
doing okay?
season.
Are you guys doing okay? In like 31 degree, because this is summer for us. Like right now in January, 31 and no, it's February now.
Yeah, and yesterday
crazy.
was even nicer.
Yeah. Any day you get to see the sun when you're on the road is a good day.
Okay.
When we were touring with Les and Jake, speaking on the other side of the pond, we didn't see the sun for 21 days.
Great Britain.
We're in
In
England.
Those winters are heavy.
Yeah. In the month of November, we didn't see the sun once, except for the last day where we flew out.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, it's
That's
this crazy
terrible.
dark fog of just medieval times. And
How do you think all that great death metal
You're
comes from?
right.
You know,
So
up
true.
there in Norwegia.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Well, I'm glad Minnesota is treating you better than Europe. We don't want to deal with it.
Minnesota's never treated us bad.
Yeah, it's like the Kona of the Midwest.
It's the what of the Midwest?
The Kona town.
The Kona town?
That's where we're
Yeah.
from.
Oh,
Kona.
yeah.
Of the
Yeah.
Midwest.
Yeah.
Well,
But
I'm
you're
glad
also-
that. Wow, so we have that kind of like that very. That's very hospitable.
Yeah,
it's
no,
very
the
warm.
sun, he's not joking about the sun. I can clearly see that the sun is out.
It's out there.
It's right there.
Last few
I looked
days-
at it all morning.
Tough.
Do you think that genre has anything to do with like your longevity and your success?
I don't know whose genre.
Yeah, I've never.
Is that
heard
your
of him.
brother, Jordan?
Are we going like that?
Wolfman Jack of the internet web radio?
Genre.
Well, think about it, because like,
Or is that a new reggae band on the market that we should be paying attention to? Genre.
are we anti-genre?
What genre though are you talking about? Like
Well,
the white reggae genre?
Like no, not
Thank
like,
you, Yi.
not like white, right? Like the reggae rock, because I
Yeah,
know you
reggae
guys,
rock, yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like
Or reggae hip hop or reggae pop.
Sure.
Or Bieber reggae.
Well, I mean, it
yeah,
definitely.
that's the new wave.
Bieber reggae.
That new wave.
Yeah,
is-
have you heard Bieber's new reggae song? It's like basically Steel Pulse with him singing.
Really?
Yes.
It's very reggaeton.
Yeah,
reggaeton. Actually,
Well,
they're
I mean,
borrowing
in
it from the
2017, genre is pretty irrelevant.
Yeah.
But like, if you think about, if we're categorizing,
guys. Sure.
Yeah.
if you think about bands that have had that longevity,
Right.
and you talk about your genre,
Right.
It seems
Genre.
genre.
Right.
It seems as though bands in this highway of music seem to be able to put out good music for long periods of time.
Sure.
Well, I think a lot of the bands in this like genre, that's why base their careers like on touring, you know, and they rely on touring as a means, I guess.
Way to live.
Yeah.
way to
Like
be.
you're selling an experience.
And I think that just equates to a stronger foundation for your band, your career, you know what I mean? And
So-
then where like other genres, they rely on TV, they rely on radio, they rely on just stuff that's
Newer forms of media.
yeah,
for
stuff
sure.
The
that's
minutia of life in
They
2017.
do.
Yeah.
But I think you just nailed it with genre, if you will, is fortunately for Pepper, we've never really fit to the genre, even to our fans. They'll say, of course, you're like, yeah, your genre. But if you look at just the festivals that we kind of frequent, we're way outside of the genre also at the same time.
Yeah.
We're always playing heavy metal fests. We're one of the few bands that has toured exclusively with, or not exclusively, but like done full tours, national tours with bands that are influenced by the Juggalos, like a Cottonmouth Kings.
There you go.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Things
Yeah.
like that.
We have a
I see
long
your
running
pennant
career
right
with the
there.
Warped
It's
Tour.
not, it's
Right.
not ICP chain, by the way.
It's not.
Oh,
okay.
nice.
Okay,
Nice.
we're in the
But that is a common misconception.
yeah. Okay.
Really?
there
So
you
no,
go.
I still appreciate the connection.
Of course, no. So, but that's so far out of the genres where like bands from maybe the second wave, like maybe the Irations or the Revolutions, bands that we kind of watched come up, they're not really on those. That you don't see them jumping out there with bands way out of their genre. They're more in that genre. So in that regard, I'd say maybe Pepper's had a broader reach because we played for so many different audiences over these years alongside the genre we
So I
belong
guess
to.
you could say like getting outside of the genre,
Yeah.
I guess, is what's equated to longevity.
Yeah, exactly.
Being able to get outside of it.
like which one of the bands in our genre has played Sonosphere with Metallica in the UK? Probably just Pepper.
That's a dope look.
It's
really cool.
I like the way you
yeah.
put
Well, I
that
just
too.
say-
That's a
I-
dope
I
look.
just-
That's a good look.
I just think it stems back actually just like three of us always wanting to play everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've never really shied away from any show because that's all we came here to do.
Right.
We left paradise to play music. So why
That's true.
would we look at Gift Horse in the Mouth
Well
and
said.
just not play something?
Right.
We've always wanted to like up the game. And the best thing about it is not being comfortable, not walking on a stage knowing that everyone's going to love you.
Right.
Actually walking on a stage knowing everyone's going to hate you is actually a really good, invigorating kind of thing.
back
Getting out of the
against the
comfort
ropes kind of
zone
thing, yeah.
and getting your growth and finding more stage chops and finding a better way to concentrate on what you're doing at the time and finding, inner peace in a place that's not necessarily peaceful, and like we've been able to,
I like that.
We've really been able to like take Pepper, whatever the genre is, like Brett just explained, really etiquetely and just like say, hey, you know what? Let's take whatever we do outside of anything.
Right.
And so you're saying there's a middle ground from Pepper and lots of other fans, and you're trying to find that when you get on stage.
And I think we're just more excited about playing
Yeah.
to everybody.
Right. Like what he said, we're not trying, we have to do this, but
Yeah.
we're here now. We said yes. That's the thing. We love saying yes. That's the reason we left Hawaii.
Because you said yes too much.
We said yes.
Does that
Yeah.
pose problems sometimes?
It
if you
does.
say
That'll
yes too
get you
much?
lost in America and other places too. It's very true. But those opportunities, we wouldn't look back. I remember promoters used to always laugh and like, oh my God, are you that band that played within a 7-day period? You guys did the Bob Marley Fest, and then you went and
3-day period.
3-day period, and then you went and played.
Dogg.
Yeah, with Snoop Dogg and like, just were main support for him, basically up in some gnarly zone in Sacramento.
Bakersfield.
Full just looked
That's
like an
dope.
NWA, shoot, amazing. And then right off with 311. You know what I mean? Like rocking away in the Midwest somewhere to an alternative, full-on rock legendary band within a week. Yes, that is Pepper. And we'd like more, please.
Which is interesting too, because
Yes.
currently you'll find us tonight here in Minnesota on First Ave with a band called Less Than Jake. That
There you
is
go.
definitely not genred of genre.
Genre.
Yeah.
Whenever we say genre from here on out, let's use the quotes because
Yeah.
I don't think none of us agree that genre
Right.
is really the way to categorize things nowadays.
Yeah.
but-
Well, it's
Genre.
very
badass.
fun to talk about.
But but those guys, you talk about having a career. They're 25 years deep. That means they're eligible to be inducted into the Cleveland Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Wow.
They've made the 25-year junction.
They did.
And and they have been doing it same way, grassroots, just playing everything that they can.
Right.
And when I watch them on stage, they're having fun.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing. I mean, and everyone can sniff out if you're not having fun.
If you put it out, you'll get it back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like, how you just mentioned how you're in love. You're schmitten. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people can weed that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think? Do you sense my authenticity?
I absolutely do.
I
And it's
see.
really beautiful because it's nice for me to see such a young guy be so enamored.
Right.
Like, it's really cool. I love that.
That's
and if
so
you
kind
ever
of
listen
you.
to this band, a lot of the songs are dealing with love and the absence of and the all of the different faces that love has.
Yeah.
It has many.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Sure does.
How has your approach to music changed throughout these 20 years? When you're going in to record, because we talked about performing, but when you're going to record,
I think it's constantly changing.
Yeah.
You know,
How so though?
That's a good way.
art is such a like there's no way to pinpoint on how it's done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just hits you sometimes.
At the age you're at.
Yeah.
And that's Jordan, that's just a really hard, good question.
Do you think that because albums, I view albums as like there's two trains of thoughts. You can be it could be like a diary for that moment in time, or it could be like trying to capture an emotion. Which does that?
Kind of the same.
Yeah, aren't they the same
Kind
thing?
of one and the same.
You think?
I don't know, and that's kind of interesting because
Like a diary
there are ways.
Yeah, it is. It's a journal entry for sure.
I've heard that many times. It's different when you're in the music business, though, at least from my side of things, because you're also, in a way, no matter what, once you put your art out there for sale, you're in the music business. Doesn't matter if you sell anything, not. Once you offer that, you're open to the opinions of the world.
Yeah.
And that's great because it gives you the chance to find who your fans are, if you're lucky enough to have any. So in that motion, you're trying to evolve as a band. Like these guys are saying, yeah, it's our growing. This is our journal entry or what you're saying. But at the same time, you're also a big part of it, whether you like to, admit it or not. Some artists are like, I'm just doing my art. And some of them are, but some of them are also going, well, the record label needs me to have this. There's pressure from this. My fans really like this. How do I evolve for them? How do I do it? Because you're not sharing it with yourself anymore. Personal music, like which I'm sure these guys have to, that never goes anywhere. That's literally for me. And that's kind of fun because it's like your own mess that you never have to clean up your room. It's in your deal. No one can ever say anything unless, your old lady comes in and goes, oh, that's not very good. And you're like,
but it's me.
Yeah. Why don't you just shut up? Or it doesn't matter because it's not for anybody but you. But commercially, there are points where you have to, and we've been through them. We've been on many different record labels all the way to owning our own record label, which is where we're at now, which is amazing because we get to kind of show those bands, hey, that's a part of it. It's a music business, but also let's pull the character of your art and your band right now through the music. And let's try and keep it as unfiltered as we can because that's why the fans that like you right now are really following you. So give them the best shot at that. And that's been really fun. So we took over a studio that was owned by Pennywise for a long time called Stall Number 2. Now it's called Kona In Recording.
Love it.
Yeah, really cool. So that's our new workspace to do it. So
and that's where like our album, our last album, Mohana, was recorded. Catastro from our label was re-recorded there.
Yeah.
And like Brett was saying too, like we have Cashed Out is on the tour right now. We just signed them to our label too.
Darrenauts from Canada. Like you're right. So this space, this is what I was alluding to is we don't have to run off to all different spaces like do a thing for Atlantic Records, which is great, but you're under different you're under different restrictions and stipulations and different support, different timing. Now we have our own space and we're inviting more bands over to be in there and have our own kind of workspace, which is really fun.
So you're creating as well as facilitating the music biz, do you ever think like starting down back in Hawaii to now owning your own record label, signing artists?
Oof.
Did you see that in the future? Like obviously that must be the goal, but now that you're here, what's that like?
I think it's like a constant unfolding and it's natural. It never feels unnatural. It's just the part of life and growing up. And I've been watching it the whole time too. When we were a band, just being a band, I remember, watching Nick Hexum produce us, watching other bands that we looked up to produce us as well. Paul Leary from the Butthole Surfers, that kind of thing. And so it was like, even though it was not maybe as present back in the day, you always kind of were aware of that the music can go in so many different ways. You just don't have to write. You can be a composer. You can be a producer, which we all are now. You can be a writer for people other than yourself. But it's just kind of like a natural unfolding. And it's nice when it happens that way.
Yeah.
And having that scope, it probably means a lot to up and coming artists that you guys are signing to be like, hey, we've been there.
Oh yeah, totally.
You can kind of foster that within them.
Yeah.
Well, learn because
from
now
our
they're looking
mistakes.
at you. Yeah, they're looking at you kind of like, oh, wait, this isn't just some guy behind a desk. This is some guy who's like been where I've been before.
Exactly.
And they're like,
I think that means the world.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I'm not on your label.
Well,
but
it was like Chloe
why,
was
Jordan,
saying.
you got some demos you want to submit?
Yeah.
We're always listening.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
Well, it was like Chloe was saying with working with Nick Hexum. It's like that's exactly how we were looking at him because we were like, oh, this guy's he's in a band. He's not just he's not just punching buttons telling us what to do. You know what I mean?
Which we've worked with in the past.
Yeah.
So we had like contrast. We could tell who was the button pusher producer and then who was actually in a band, which one you wanted to listen to more.
And you trust him. Not to mention you just look up to the guy. Getting to work with someone like that is like, it's one thing if it's somebody famous, like say it's like, I don't know, Paul Simon, who you respect, but you didn't grow up like cranking, or some of us did. But like that's amazing. But that's almost over your head. Is where somebody's like you eventually tour with and do, and you've seen what they're doing is pretty cool. So yeah, you're right. We get to do that kind of in a mentorship with the Law Records bands because we're the reason they're signed. We all believe in the music we're signing. Yeah. This isn't like, oh yeah, they're gonna sell 1 million records. This is gonna be great. Sign them. I don't care. They sound great. No, this is music that we've either witnessed their progression, you know, through touring, or they've been hustling on the road, and they're kind of, you know, sending us their updates and showing us a progression, their demos and music, and we're like, okay, cool. Or they're just really hardworking people, and you can see the spirit in somebody.
Yes.
Maybe the art hasn't caught up to their enthusiasm yet. Maybe it isn't, but it has been amazing. One of the first show we ever went to in California when we came over, so I went to the Goldfinger show in the old school, and we loved Goldfinger to death.
Dope.
There's another one too. You know, worked with you know, John Feldman a whole lot. He's not only like from a band that we really liked, but they came up and did their thing and kind of had, you know, been around for a long time, but they never really crossed over all the way like they wanted to. But watching him on this side of it, he's like one of the biggest, most successful producers in the whole world. And that's crazy because we used to listen to him, you know, and imitate his songs about like there's not enough water pressure in the shower. Feels like the shower is going pee, and now he's just writing with everybody and creating these things. So that side of it is very inspiring for this part of the journey in the career too. It's like, wow, you could do that.
Well, there's a couple people like, because isn't the guy from One Republic? Like he's written way
Ryan
bigger.
Tedder's huge. He's one of the most pop writers.
Right, but he's written way bigger hits for other people, not One Republic.
Even bigger than
same thing with Goldfinger. He's
same thing with Linda Perry, man.
Yeah,
like even if her song was huge,
super huge.
Or her song was huge,
Right.
but she's like exactly, Four Non Blondes, and she wrote so many huge things.
We actually lucked out with Nick Hexum. Now that I think about it, we had so much fun making that record for so many reasons. But I think because he's just a great dude, and that band is amazing, which is why we ended up touring with them so much. And we've already liked them. Like you said, we found their tapes in Hawaii. Oh my God. Yeah. But we're kind of lucky because he was in that kind of production mode. And then right after we were done, he's like, I don't really do that anymore. That chapter's closed. We feel very fortunate to be like, we have our No Shame album there, which is
10 years old.
10 years old as
released on vinyl.
That's
this
a Nick
year.
Hexum produced album. And
cassette though? Is there a cassette?
No, not cassette yet. Cassette.
I want
we
some
just
cassette
released the
pepper.
vinyl though.
Cassette's 2018.
And it's got the golden ticket in it, by the way.
Really?
Yes.
Like Willy Wonka? Can I come down to
Exactly.
come down to the studio? Like, is that what it is?
Hasn't been found yet though.
I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna come down and then
go find
like
that
Oompa Loompas, like engineering sessions.
Yes.
You know what's so fantastic? It hasn't been found yet. The golden ticket. There's only one. And you get this.
That's not a bit. There's an actual golden
no.
ticket.
There's a golden ticket.
The prize is amazing.
And I can't. The best thing about it is it hasn't been found yet. Usually it's like, hey, I got it.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Good for you. But the contest is over.
Which
now
is the
it's
way I
just
thought
like,
it would. Yeah, I thought it would be like super quick. But it's a killer from Doc Surf Prescriptions. It's a hand painted No Shame surfboard.
Wow.
Yeah,
actually.
no, like a risk.
Yeah.
It's a big win.
So that's waiting.
I'm gonna buy every pepper vinyl.
No, we were actually thinking like maybe we should go buy some. Is that illegal? Can we get our own golden ticket? I don't know.
Read
But
the
it's still
fine print
out
on
there.
that, but
Yeah,
I don't see why
the
not
fine print.
though. Like,
Look who won. Me.
I did
That
it.
stuff.
So, as we talk about the balance between, I guess, artistic integrity and commercial viability, I feel like the digital age has to, like, something to play. Like, you guys didn't have that starting in '97.
Yep.
No, and now it's like how some artists get off. Like, I was about to say get off. Some artists like pop off because of like social media and the internet. So how has that applied to you guys? Has that played a part? Like the social media, the technology?
Well, yeah. I mean, you always have to keep up with social media, even if it's not your forte, if you weren't brought up in it. But now you have all these people like you, Jordan, who are 23, and social media is just life.
I've been tweeting during this interview.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't had my hands-free tweeting.
But
YouTube is
amazing.
incredible.
But it's cool. Social media, all of that's important. But I mean, the most important thing is like, the music and how you get it out there. And because there's so many different avenues, I'm really grateful that we have all these different ways to listen to any kind of music around the world at any time.
It expedites the process.
It's just so cool. Like, I mean, if I were like seriously to be able to listen to like Brazilian metal when I was growing up, anytime I wanted to, it might have just changed my whole life. Like, you can just jump on Spotify and listen to any type of music around the world. You
know what genre and era and whatever? I've been loving 70s Japanese disco.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Japanese disco?
And like Japanese disco, Japanese soul. It's incredible.
Wow.
Great arrangements.
How
like,
cool that is.
On this interview, when you get this all wrapped up, let's make sure that that's the outro song.
It's in the background.
Yeah,
Some,
exactly.
Here's a take
Kasai
from
Kimono,
Fuku
that's one of the artists.
Takamitsu
Yes.
with Boogie Boogie Woogie Asahi. All the way. I'm guessing that's the name of the song. I don't know.
It's something like that.
That's
I
amazing.
can't-
I've never even heard of that, but you're right. That is a benefit for these times. So coming up, we kind of did it as the door was closing. Like bands could still write a killer song, and if it was lucky enough to make it onto the radio stations, terrestrial ones, were still big enough to kind of push it around there. And if the band was smart enough, they go and tour around it, garner fans, and then it kind of closed. And was like, well, you can have a YouTube channel like you mentioned before, and be famous in your basement and make a good living. And you don't really have to tour. That you see those all the time. I didn't know that. So
it's one of the most like I think those stories are more common than like the
they are.
Someone like and someone signing someone. It's almost like this person's popping on the internet.
Because that's kind of an old school thing. So for our vantage point, at least the way I've been seeing it is like it's even more. The big old model of the music business has fallen. These dinosaurs. There's very few big labels left, and now who flourishes? They don't have to have a label necessarily. But it's how creative you are, not just with social media, because there's always something else. There's something outside of social media that's growing right now that's going to be as big as social media soon or be a version of that. And that's exciting to look at and see how you fit in, how your band fits in. But the people that give up, if they're old schoolers or just tune, I don't want to do it. Well, you're missing out on a huge
But the YouTube thing is so crazy because they've done so well at monetizing things. Because like Gabe that plays drums for Sleeping with Sirens, he was talking to me this summer about like I have an English bulldog too, and he was talking about his English bulldog. You seen the video? And I'm like, no, you seen my English bulldog? And then he's like, oh no, but mine ended up getting like 3 million hits or something. So he ended up making like 50 grand off his little puppy or something like that.
That's crazy.
But and it's because
that's great for artists.
Well, I'm just saying
I've never heard that story, but
like
really, yeah.
I gotta pick up a
how much was the dog? Because I want to see the.
Well, I would guess English bulldog probably like 3 grand.
All right, that's a good turnover.
Pretty penny.
Well, I'm like proud dog owner. I'm like, well, you see my dog? He's like, well, no, I actually made like 50 grand. I was like, wow. But like you're saying, you could be in your basement doing whatever cute videos or whatever videos and make a total living.
Right.
See what I mean? I didn't even know that. That just floored me.
Yeah.
You learn something all the time here at Go.
Look at a dude like Chance the Rapper. No label, none of that. Now he's nominated for 8 Grammys.
Yeah, he just sold out 2 nights at the Blaisdell.
He's like the biggest artist in hip hop right now.
That's how I'd actually heard of who he's talking about.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, sick. Who is this guy?
2 nights at the Blaisdell.
Who is
that?
Wow.
He was fully independent.
He's full indie. I mean, of course, I bet he has like distribution
now,
but you don't need this. No, actually, no. His album's streaming only. It's only online.
Oh, he's keeping all of it.
And and Macklemore did that too. He was licensing his own songs.
I totally remember the
for
Macklemore thing.
Macklemore
like trailers.
Yeah. That's the guy I was trying to think of.
It's a big hip hop thing. I'm seeing it in alternative as well.
Well, I mean, and you guys hear Atmosphere. I mean, like as far as like one of the biggest independent hip hop artists in the world.
Sayers.
Yeah,
right.
That's crazy.
It's a cool time to be alive. You know.
Yeah. But who would have thought of that? That model was not even possible 10 years ago.
No.
Is it safe to say that it kind of destroyed the state of the music industry as it was?
But it wasn't working anyway.
Yeah, it's the same.
Well, what was the old song? TV killed the radio star.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, that
wasn't that the same thing?
No, you're
20
right.
years
but
before.
Look how creative and cool that is. Like we didn't even know about it. We just found out about that thing, and even the bulldog thing blows me away. A drummer's dog just crushed.
Well, and he said he even
50 grand.
He said he even like it was like his chick at home was like, oh, should I post this on YouTube? They're like, yeah, throw it up. And he said before it went viral, and then he registered it. So you got to register it to collect money or whatever with YouTube. So he lost out on like 5 grand. He said because he didn't catch it, like it blew up, and then he was like, oh, sick, it blew up. Oh wait, I got to register it.
No,
and he registered it and started making money.
All those different fads, like you said, it couldn't happen even 5 years ago the way it was, even because of the old chokehold that the old model had. Mm-hmm. Now that's all destroyed. I'm actually kind of psyched. I'm not really into politics, but I think Donald Trump's going to do that for politics.
It's already happened.
It's already been that way. Let's be honest. Did you know that some judge somewhere could just do a thing like, nah, we're not going to do the travel ban, Trump? Did you know that was possible?
Like tweet at him?
Did you know? No, I mean like put a ban on his ban.
Well, checks and balances, civics class.
I'm sorry, bro. I didn't know that, and I think a lot of people didn't realize that was cool. So we're gonna learn a lot about the political system through this craziness and this awesome. I'm kind of excited to learn about what's going on instead of just like
that might be a rare positive we can see. Maybe.
Well, that's the attitude that you have to have is the rare positive because everyone's so bummed out. Yeah. I don't want to be bummed out.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's a waste of my time. Why not we just find the good, like Brett's saying? Hey, and not only that, we're in Colorado a couple days ago. That's the richest state in America.
Why?
Why
are they so rich?
Yeah, exactly.
Progressive.
Right. And, California, the whole actual Northwest is trying to be their own country. Wouldn't it be a trip if America was just a bunch of countries like Europe?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nuts? Seriously, people would get so excited about that.
If Europe had the Brexit, do you think Minnesota can do a Mexit?
Yeah, they could.
Let's start the Mexit.
Only if there's a Chipotle on every corner.
Oh, you're thinking of the food.
Yeah.
That's odd. Love.
Yeah.
Do you like the food here in Minnesota? Is that why you brought it up?
Well, I'm going to tell you what I had last night.
What'd you have?
A grass-fed, grass-finished ribeye at Mercury Grill downtown with butter and herbs poured over it.
The food game here is crazy.
Yeah, she's like, would you like any sides with that? And I'm like, no. Bring it bloody, and don't let anything touch the plate but the steak. And here's the funny thing. I don't really eat steak too much. Like, it's pretty rare. I really like to source the
rare.
meat.
It's a steak joke.
Yep.
Get it?
Well played.
Exactly. And and like sat down and I watched Tom Brady win the Super Bowl. Not by choice, but it was on every screen in Minnesota last night. I couldn't get away from it. Eat at a nice restaurant. So thank you, Mercury.
Oh, you could have went to Surly, that brewery. They don't have one TV in the whole place.
But they do have
no
saunas.
kidding.
Yeah. I was like, this place is much.
I'm totally a fan of.
Yeah, there
Zero
was
TV
not
in
one
a
TV in the whole
restaurant.
place.
I'm totally in.
We have mini computers in our pockets all the time, man. It bogs you down. Screen time, it's a thing. My parents like get off the video games. And like, I can play as many video games as I want. But nowadays, like,
And drive at the same time.
I'm playing Pac-Man. Like, well, just like
Just got killed by a Pokemoner one time. It was nuts.
what?
Yeah, they look for it as they drive.
That's still happening.
Ah,
Well, I know it happened back at Pokemon. That's the I know it's still
this was
happening.
months ago.
That was so
Yeah, I
last
remember
summer.
that. Yeah,
So
I remember that.
last summer.
So Pokemon Go so last summer.
So last summer.
So last summer. So yesterday.
Back to I want to go back to like the label thing on the internet real quick. Would you rather be a band in the modern age where there's a little bit of saturation with music, or would you rather be
Question.
beforehand, like the old school method that was broken?
Oh,
Fuck, yeah.
I just watched the Eagles documentary, and it's set, not on purpose. What it's showing you.
Kind of like how watching the
exactly.
Super Bowl.
Eagles documentary.
It was
Super Bowl,
indirect
same
viewing.
thing.
You know I hate the Eagles, man.
indirect
Come on,
viewing.
Not
music,
the
get out.
Eagles.
Come on, dude. No, it was really interesting. But what I meant was an accident is the progression that it showcased. It went all the way up till now from the OG. Those guys had a ton of different sick band members. You know, Jackson Brown was in that band once.
Really?
He was in that band, writing with them. First of all, Eagles.
I had no idea.
That's so cool.
You totally cheated, Eagles.
Yeah.
Let's just put all the LeBron Jameses and all the Kevin Durant. Oh wait, that's like let's put all the
that's happening.
Stephen Curry's on one. Oh wait a minute.
But that's how it was back then. They were so just fluent. I mean, like Steve Winwood would be playing with Jimi Hendrix on Electric Ladyland.
So
and,
true.
You know, it just happened like that.
Yeah. And it was amazing though. You're right. I mean, those were real artists. They lived to do that. So yes, I don't know if Pepper would have had the same impact, or maybe we would have been forced to go even harder, like we were known for.
Wait, which
when
one?
we
Yes, to
first
which
started.
one? Beforehand or new
I
school?
would do it in the old school days because here's a big thing that's missing from nowadays, and being like, no offense to the people in the basement, beautiful. Hey, I can sing. Look at all these covers.
Good for
I
you.
can
It
do.
works. But
Hey, that's awesome. I did this. Where's the story? Where's the legacy? Where's the trials and tribulations as far as where you can see? Where's the starting from nothing and going somewhere? And I don't mean being cataloged on a screen in the basement's cool. Good for you and your progression, but that's not as interesting to me. What's interesting to me is it's tougher to fail in your basement with a really nice high-end camera and the internet giving you what's hot right now, what'll sell right now, what cover could I do right now, what voice TV show could I go on, what can I do, where all this information and access to this information, right? Like you said, a computer in your pocket from right here with a great feed that will instantly go out to everyone in the whole world, instead of all the way back here where maybe you had a song, maybe somebody heard it, maybe you played it well enough in a bar, maybe somebody there heard it, maybe that got recorded because somebody heard it, maybe that got somehow to a radio station and people started to like it in that area, maybe that area spread to another area, to more national, from regional to national, maybe people believed in you, maybe people heard what you were going to be playing somewhere and went to go see you and became a thing, and those people became fans of you and they shared it with their friends and family. Maybe, and this amazing thing. And the story for the
so
artist.
many factors, so many variables.
Just to even make that happen. So yeah, I would love that, because that's not only validating, but it's you could like die going, that was awesome, instead
Cool
of
ride.
now I hit send and
Now it's a hit upload.
Right,
There
I
it is. If
paid
it pops off, it pops off.
Yeah.
If not,
Yeah.
I'm a cool college kid that does something on the side.
and my label
Right.
paid. I was able to buy a bazillion listeners for a minute, and
Yeah.
they got out there. Good for you. So different triumphs, but that one seems so much more like a grass-fed finished steak. You know.
What a great way to finish. Because like going back to the old school, heading out performing at First Ave tonight.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
a very iconic venue.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I wish you guys the best of luck at your show. I'll
Thank
be here
you,
on the
Jordan.
radio, regrettably.
Oh,
But my vibes are sent to you.
We
That's
feel
what
it.
we asked
Guys,
for. Thank you.
it was a pleasure. Thanks for coming
shouting
through.
out. Thank
Yeah.
you again.
Jordan.
Big time, man.
All right.
Jordanian.
right on, Jordan.
I am Jordanian.